Oh, hello there. Yes. Well, eventually I will get some of my tech sorted out. You never know, by the weekend, possibly. Anyway, yesterday we had all the joys of the farmers market, didn't we? Probably a Christmas one. Oh no, sorry, no, protest. That was the word I was after. Yes. And as ever, we have the delectation of seeing the press suddenly finding protest a very viable thing to do. Because after all, there's all those very, 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 very hard pressed farmers out there, just ordinary people like you, like me, like Jeremy Clarkson, just ordinary people, apparently, that are going to be vastly affected by this. And of course, the reporting of it, as ever, manages to be as tone deaf as you possibly can be on a class basis. Okay, yes, I'm going to do a bit of class warrior stuff today, indeed. So the Telegraph yesterday had these two things, apart from the Clarkson inevitable Clarkson thing, right? Yeah, whereby yes, he bought the farm to avoid inheritance tax, and now he's suggesting that actually, even though he'd said that he bought the farm to avoid inheritance tax, it's not exactly what he meant when he said he bought the farm to avoid inheritance tax. Apparently he bought the farm to have a go at the Labour Party or something. Anyway, I don't know. Ask his mate Dave that he lives next door to, because he lives in a caravan, doesn't he, David Cameron, apparently. Apparently, it's rustic, isn't it? Caravan, yeah. Anyway, the Daily Telegraph yesterday had two particular pieces which I had to smile at. First of all, they had a live feed at the demo, and we caught this image, which was Andrew Lloyd Webber with his dog as part of the crowd. Yeah, when you think farmers, you do think Andrew Lloyd Webber. It's the first thing that comes to mind, isn't it? Yeah. A guy on the Sunday Times Richest 100 people in the UK list. So instantaneously, my heart throbbed with a rustic pride at seeing him. Yes, guy who's very interested in politics when it affects him, rugged individualist that he is, when it affects him. Yeah, so he's so keen on politics that he occasionally, once every 5 years, goes to vote in the House of Lords. Yeah, he did vote back in, what was it, 2017. There you go. Yeah, for Brexit, because that was important. And occasionally they drag him in to vote against poor people getting anything as well. Nice man. Nice man, the sort of man that I should listen to. And then in the main article they had this, right? I'm a Duchess, but I will be on the Farmers' March today. I'm begging Labour to use their common sense. Yes, yeah, there she is with her dogs again. Gonna set them on the proles, no doubt, yeah. Anyway, you can read that for yourself. Bit of a hoot about just an ordinary everyday Duchess being very concerned about ordinary everyday Duchess things. Because, after all, I'm sure we've all met a Duchess that's just like you, just like me. Well, maybe not like me. I'd need to be a duke, really, wouldn't I? Just to be really, gendered about these things, because that's pretty important as well. Yes, these people are always astounded when people like me point these things out. It's as though we're not allowed to mention the fact that we live in a society where large numbers of people have vast amounts of stuff and large numbers of people, in very much larger numbers of people, have nothing. Yes, that would of course be, coming up with communism, wouldn't it? Yes. And I did have to smile as well at the latest thing from the New Culture Forum, where they were discussing the Museum of Communist Terror. No, I'm not making that up. A very odd organisation. If you look them up on Companies House, have vast amounts of money to basically run a website telling us how bad a man Stalin was. But I'm sorry, I don't really need to know that, do I? Because I know it already. I don't need to be told these things, and certainly don't need the New Culture Forum with, "Hi, I'm Peter Whittle, and I accept dodgy money from charities, but let's not ask about it." I might go along to one of their local meetings and ask those awkward questions, because after all, that's free speech, isn't it? But leaving that aside, yeah, we don't actually need to be told these things. And you see, the thing is that what groups like the New Culture Forum suggest is that I, as a teacher, don't actually outline how horrific Stalinism was. And yet, I actually do. Just yesterday I was teaching about America in the Depression. I did manage to mention both Nazism and communism, and suggested to my pupil that they were both equally bad. But according to these people, I don't do that at all, which is quite an odd world to live in. Maybe it's just an odder world as, believing that duchesses and astoundingly rich composers are just ordinary people too. Maybe they really are. Maybe they are the vanguard, the new cadre of the workers out there. Maybe. Anyway, do have a lovely day. Do enjoy whilst you can.